Hi everybody, I'm here. I'm going to turn this down so I don't hear myself. And my mouse is caught on the keyboard back here. I'm just a hot mess this morning, everybody. Microphone is on though. I see bars moving, which is good. But I don't see any comments because we haven't gone live yet. Now we have. There we go. Had to hit the go live button. I think you got me now. Weather Extra. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Tuesday. Hot, hot, hot. Yeah. Good song. A lot of hot songs. Think about all the different type of summer songs that we could be singing right now with all the heat and the humidity we have coming our way for today, tomorrow, and on Thursday. It has been hot. It has been humid since really early June. And we will be slightly hotter and more humid as we go into tomorrow and Thursday. Now, the actual air temperature probably won't be the hottest day of the summer in the next 2 days that we've already had. I think we hit 98 in Huntsville. And I think we hit 98, 99 in the Shoals at one point. I don't think we get that high temperature-wise, but because of the humidity being so high the next couple of days, it's going to take its toll on you because the heat index values could get up to about 105, 106. We have been there multiple times actually this summer, but I think now that we're getting deeper into summer and those days start to compound and they start to be redundant over and over where it's hot and humid, a 48 first alert is definitely warranted for the next 2 days. Just to let you know at home, hey, look, we got to keep an eye on the heat. Temperatures already this morning are soaring to 90 degrees. I mean, we're in the 80s for most locations, like high 80s for most locations, and here we are at 10:30. So it's just a matter of time before we hit 90, and once we get to the mid-90s, it stays hot and it stays humid right through the afternoon. The one difference today, though, is that we don't have much in the way of any kind of instability or any kind of thunderstorm chances, though with that said, there was just a brief shower in Lawrence County south of Moulton near Bankhead that actually popped, and then it fizzled right back out. So we kept the 10% in for today, but it's really mainly dry conditions, all right? I'm going to pull the graphics up real quick, and I'll cycle through them, give you a basic idea of what's going on. You feel like temperatures, again, it's the humidity. It is really high, even for Tennessee Valley standards. It's higher than usual. That brings your real feels like temperature, we call it the heat index, up into the 90s for just about everybody. In fact, everybody is in the 90s. Feels like 97 in Athens, 95 in Florence, and it is still like mid to late morning. So that is pretty uncomfortable stuff right there. Afternoon planner, I think for the first time in almost 20 shifts I've had in a row, I don't have a thunderstorm icon in the afternoon. I really don't know what to do with myself, but it's all about the temperatures. And again, there is the slightest chance of a 10% shower chance, but most areas will stay dry and you're just gonna be baking in the sun, and it's a hot and humid one. It's summertime, it's supposed to be that way. Mostly clear and muggy tonight, a very warm evening. We're in the low to mid 70s. There's no relief at night. Not much in the way of patchy fog tonight. We've had some foggy mornings, including this morning, especially in Jackson, DeKalb County. That is likely not the case tomorrow morning. Probably a lot less fog tomorrow morning for that commute. And Eric will be here tracking that with you, of course. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you on. Very good morning. If you stop in for Weather Extra and you want to say hi or just have a question about the weather, you can let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. I got until 11 o'clock, so we good to go. Tracking the tropics for you. So the National Weather Service, or National Hurricane Center, I apologize, keeps an eye on the tropics, and they've given this little orange shaded area a 40% chance to become a named system or a tropical disturbance, and not only in the next 7 days, but in the next 2 days now. So what's happened is you have that X. See where that X is? There's a little cluster of cloud cover, and there's a low pressure there. And what's going to happen is this low pressure is going to try to develop into something a little bit stronger. It has a chance to strengthen. It eventually will cross the Florida Peninsula and head into the northeastern Gulf, right? And then forecast models have it moving into Louisiana. A few of them have it moving up into Mississippi. And some of them have it strengthening to become a named system, which would be Dexter. Or if it doesn't become named, it really doesn't matter. It's going to cause some rough surf. It's going to cause some heavy rainfall at the coast. If you have beach plans for this weekend especially, probably going to be a big impact. Even if you're anywhere from Panama City all the way to the coast of Louisiana, many areas will be dealing with some heavy rainfall. And eventually, forecast models have that thing on the backside of a big high pressure ridge. What does that mean for you at home? It means that it may get steered north through Louisiana, and eventually it could ring itself out right over like northern Mississippi into northwest Alabama. We had this happen with a tropical system last year. It was when we had all that rainfall for Franklin County, and areas in Moulton had like 1.5 feet of rain in like 2 days, or like 12 hours actually. And so sometimes, even though it's not a named system and you don't really think about the system as a low pressure lifting north to have a big impact, it still could with some copious amounts of rainfall. So obviously something that we're all tracking here at the station, and we'll keep an eye on it and see how it not only impacts the coastal locations, but how it could impact the Tennessee Valley down the road. What it does look like, though, with a more tropical feel, the humidity is not going anywhere. That sticks around all the way through the weekend. And when you start talking about temperatures low 90s, it seems like a bit of a break from the heat. Those feel like temperatures Saturday and Sunday with dew points that could be as high as upper 70s will make it feel like 105. So any storm or any kind of rain that we have too with all that humidity is going to be a big time rain maker. So today's slight chance of rain, Wednesday and Thursday, a few isolated pop-up storms, but the 48 first alert weather days are for the heat and the humidity, not for the storms. And we turn our attention to some tropical moisture to the south on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that may enhance your rainfall totals. Hard to pinpoint exactly what part of the days may be wetter than others, but it does look like there'll be periods of heavy rainfall throughout the entire Friday, Saturday, and Sunday time frame. And then however that system plays out and is part of the Tennessee Valley forecast, that will also include a potential for some showers and storms lingering into early next week on Monday. Once the rain and the clouds back off from this whatever system develops to our south, it's just a lot of sunshine next week for the middle part of the week, and that's going to really spike temperatures up. We're in the mid 90s. We are in the dog days of summer, woof, 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 and yeah, it can be very hot. And then you factor in a little Tennessee Valley humidity, and that's a recipe for feel like temperatures over 105. So this heat and humidity is not going anywhere. It just may be interrupted, at least the heat part of it may be interrupted just a little bit with some more clouds and rainfall Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I mean, still low 90s and humidity is still really, really uncomfortable, right? All right. Sorry, that was a long-winded explanation. I apologize. Daniel says hello. Hi, Daniel. Good to see you on, my good friend. Hope all is well. Will we feel any effects from it all? Answer that question just now for you, Sarah. We could have a little bit of rainfall enhancement, so to speak, as we go into the weekend, Friday and the weekend. Adam says, Fort Payne checking in. Hey, Adam, did you get some rain yesterday in Fort Payne? So I talked to my good friend Arbadella, and she lives in Dogtown, woof woof, and she had over an inch of rain not too far from where you're at, and you might have had some rain too. There was this old pesky thunderstorm near Fort Payne for a while yesterday. You might have been able to hear it, and you might be able to see the lightning in the distance, but yeah, it was some pretty heavy rain. It was like, ended up being really the only player we had all day yesterday. The storms to the west in the afternoon, they stayed mainly west and north, and we didn't really have much in the way of rain yesterday. Some of you probably like, we haven't had much rain in the last 2 weeks. I get it. And there's other areas who are like I said, waving the white flag with the rainfall. Like, I've had enough. I know at my house I've had enough. And somebody, I think it was Sandra yesterday, said, Jeff, be careful what you wish for. And she's right. I go dry, and I might have to start watering the garden in 2 weeks. But I will say this is, we've had a chance for rain almost like every single day this month. Like, it's crazy. And June too. I filled in a lot of shifts. I was here a lot. So I feel like I was tracking something on the radar almost every single day I worked. So having a day like today where we don't have much in the forecast will be nice. And even in tomorrow and Thursday, it looks like the rain's not the headline finally. It's more like the heat and humidity. But Zelma, good morning, Jeff. I am from Grant Mountain. I hope you are having a great, blessed day today. Zelma, I am. And now that you said hello, I'm even having a better day. Grant Mountain, I know exactly where you're at. I know exactly where that is. What do you think of that? I'm in your area quite a bit. Thomas, hi from Florence. What is the weather going to be like for us here the next 3 days temperature-wise? Well, I have it right there on the screen for you. There you go. I think those temperatures are pretty consistent for all areas. I think maybe like Sand Mountain, Lookout Mountain may not quite be that hot, but it's going to be just as humid. And your temperatures in the mid-90s feels like about 105 for the next 3 days. That's why we have a 48 first alert weather day, Thomas. For Wednesday and Thursday, I think today could have probably been included, but I mean, most of the area is going to be dealing with the same kind of conditions today, Wednesday, and Thursday. The pattern change comes Friday when a higher chance of rain comes into the area, and that means more clouds. So you might see a high there of 93, but that high at 93 may happen briefly in the afternoon, and then you get that downpour or a thunderstorm, and that's going to cool the air a bit, and that will bring the temperature down. So I think the heat is more consistent the next 3 days because you have a longer time to stay in the mid-90s because you don't have any real storms firing up, just very isolated stuff. But when you get into more rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you may spike to 93 by noon, but then if you have that thunderstorm, all of a sudden you're sitting in the 70s all afternoon, so it's not as bad, right? Hi, Adam. I'm still waiting to get one of those good summer soakers. You need a gully washer, Adam. I know. I get it. A little gully washer thing came out. That's a real word, by the way, just to let everybody know. It's a real defined word, and I use it a lot, and a lot of people get a kick out of it. Yeah. The gully washer. I was at a Pandas game, and it was raining, and there was a rain delay. Some guy came over to me. He's like, is this considered a gully washer? And I said, well, it looks pretty heavy. So it's all good. Sarah says, good morning from Elijah. That's, yeah. It's 6, right, Sarah? I know Daniel, I know Hope. Now I know Elijah. I just gotta try to remember all the names. I'm never gonna remember all the names. I'm really bad. I remember Daniel though, because Daniel's a big weather guy. So. Yes, just heard it. There you go. Sarah, sometimes I fall behind on comments, so I apologize about that. Adam says, where I'm at, we only had a few sprinkles. Yeah, and Adam, these thunderstorms can be so localized. I mean, here we are talking like in that area of Fort Payne yesterday, that thunderstorm, it was moving real slow, and some areas picked up over 1.5 inches of rain. And like where you were, obviously not where the thunderstorm was above, right? So you might have been able to hear it and see it with the lightning, but you didn't have any of the direct impacts from the rainfall, and that can happen. I mentioned this the other day. I have had over 4 inches of rain at my house. I live in Northwest Huntsville. The airport obviously is not in Northwest Huntsville. It's in like Southwest, like very Southwest, and had 0.4. So just the difference in Huntsville alone can be that extreme, let alone the entire Tennessee Valley. So, hi, Kaylee. Good to see you on. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you. Ken says, checking in for Meridianville. Are we looking at storms this weekend? Ken, yeah, the setup is different too. Just so you know, Ken, and I'm sorry you wrote this 3 minutes ago. I hope you're still here. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a lot of times in the summertime we'll have these like pop-up thunderstorms, right? And you dodge and weave a few and you stay dry and you're good to go and you just stay outside fishing, golfing, whatever you want to do, right? The setup for this weekend is a little different because of a tropical system to the coast. It's not a hurricane coming our way or a tropical storm headed our way, but some of that rainfall could work north. And if it does, it becomes more of a consistent rain. It makes it so that instead of having several hours of dry conditions on the weekend, we may have several hours of rainfall each day. But give us time to iron that out because the culprit that would bring that rain to the area is still off the east coast of Florida. We're still kind of waiting to see where it's going to go and what it's going to do. But right now, it looks like it could be potentially very wet for both days and not that pop-up storm stuff that we had last weekend where some areas didn't even have 1 drop of rain on Saturday and Sunday, and other areas got pummeled with rain, especially on Sunday. So it just depends on where they set up. This would be a different scenario. I hope that helps answer your question. Adam says, it's like the rain split when it got to Fort Payne and joined back together. You know what? It did. I was tracking it, Adam, on the noon show, and it did do that. 2 storms around Fort Payne, and then as we got past Fort Payne and went to Georgia, they became one, and they moved on. You're exactly right. You were watching the radar with me. I know. I got you. Mike Gentle, good morning to you, my friend. Hope all is well. Definite pool day. Enjoy, my friend. Baking in those mid-90s out there. I got you. Tegan, good to see you on this morning. Sarah says, yes, 6 children. I thought so. I know Elijah, Daniel, Hope, and I don't know if I know any other names. But I have 4 of my kids gathered around watching the live video. Gotcha. Well, which one am I missing today? Is Hope there? Hope's there, Daniel's there, Elijah's there. I'm missing somebody. Ken, great. I'm great. I appreciate anytime you have any questions, Ken. We're on here for Weather Extra. I am covering the 10:30 part of it, but Brad comes back at night at 9:30. Eric is in tomorrow. He'll be doing it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 10:30. And even in addition to what we do on air, we try to add this as an element so that if you have those personal questions about the weather, we can sit here and discuss it and talk about it. And I can try to focus in on even your exact location sometimes. I'm personally not going to ever always be 100% right, but I'd like to think I hit it like at least a base hit every single time. And We try to keep you updated that way. So if you have any questions, we're always here for you, okay? Sarah says, Hope, Ezekiel, Ethan. Oh my gosh, all right. I don't expect you to remember. At least it's not 14 kids. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. I got you. Oh, dear God. Hang on a second. I got to block this one. All right, got rid of that. Watching from Killen. Beverly, I know where you're at. From Killen. I'm going to pull this up again. You don't need to see my face. Ken says, thank you. You're very welcome, Ken. Appreciate you being on for Weather Extra. It's good stuff. It's only 10:45. I've got a little bit more time to waste away. I've had way too much coffee. And got 11 o'clock TVL coming up. We'll have more weather updates there. Of course, Peyton will have more on all the entertainment. I mean, there's some really cool things that Peyton does at the TVL show. And it's so dynamic. There's so many different things that she's talking about, whether it's plans to go out for the weekend, if it's fashion, makeup, deep-hearted conversations with people who have gone through tough situations. She covers it all. She does a great job. So tune into TVL at 11. And then Gina's back at noon, more on updated news stories through the morning. And I'll cover a little bit of weather. And I don't know if Carl's going to be live for the noon show. I did not see the rundown yet. But, of course, Carl, who does amazing work, is SEC days. And, starting to get the football buzz, right? It's almost that time of year. Whatever team you support, college football season's right around the corner. And for some of you who are gamers, College Football 26 came out for the PS5. I play it. And it's good. It's really good this year. And it's already got me thinking college football already. Like, what team? I'm playing with Texas Tech right now, and I went 7-4, 7. I went 7-3, 7-5 in my first season. I play on Heisman level. Game's awesome. But it gets you in that football mode, and maybe for some of you, football mode means thinking a little bit more about fall season, and those of you who don't like the heat and the humidity, you're thinking about cooler temperatures. It's right around the corner. Won't take long until we get there. We're almost there. Rose is my... You know what I need to do, Sarah? Do me a favor. Send me a message with the breakdown. Like names, ages, and I'll try to remember for the rest of my life the names. It's tough. The older I get, the more I forget. Hey, Michelle, what are you doing on? Did you have a little coffee on the porch this morning, or was it too muggy for you? It was really steamy this morning. But no fog, though. I hope you enjoyed a little coffee this morning. Anything on the breakfast menu today? What's going on? What's Paul doing today? Anyway, good to see you, Michelle. I always like talking to you. It's always great to see you on Facebook. I almost called it coffee time, but it's actually Weather Extra. Michelle says, we all need a gully washer. A gully washer thing, it's got legs. It does. I don't know why I said that. I said it on air one day, and the reaction was crazy. Sarah says, what month do temperatures start dropping? That's a great question. We got still a pretty hot month in August. I think the average temperature drops just a little bit in September, a little bit in October, and then it's a more significant drop in November, and then it really drops in December. But, I mean, we can pop 90-degree days here, like, through October. So, I mean, you can also have a day that's in the 50s, too. I mean, October, November, those are more like your transition months when you're trying to transition from one to the other season. And you can have some wild temperature swings, especially when you get to, like an early December lower 48 temperature map can be just wild. You can have, like, 0 in North Dakota, this way, 0 in North Dakota, and you can have, like, 95 in, like, South Alabama. You know, it's crazy. Wild temperature swings. Adam says, yeah, the spam comments are bad, Adam. I agree. I just block now. Like, I don't even play games. Like, it's terrible. But I try to monitor the page so we don't have to put up with that, okay? Sarah, I will do you want pics too? No pics. Just names and ages. That's it. No pics. I will, if the time comes and it's right, Sarah, I'm sure I'll end up meeting you down the road and I could be introduced individually. That would be fantastic, okay? Just names, ages, I remember. Michelle, lots of coffee. Breakfast for dinner tonight. Oh, breakfast for dinner tonight. Is that your idea or Paul's idea? You let me know. I don't know. I'm trying to eat like I turned over this new leaf like 2 weeks ago. I'm not trying to. I refuse to eat fast food now. I'm trying to take it out of my diet. So I'm trying to eat more salads. One thing I like about the summertime heat is it makes me excited about like a fruit salad or like, not a fruit, like a salad with like, I put like strawberries on it, or I'll put like a little feta cheese with some like walnuts. And I put like a vinaigrette dressing on it, and it's really delish. And I feel more inspired to eat salads in the summertime, but in the winter, no, not the same. I'm like all the bad things I could possibly eat in the summertime. Samantha, what's up? I always remember that it starts getting a little chillier around Halloween because we always needed a long sleeve under our costumes for trick-or-treating. Yeah, I've worked in a market before where it snowed on Halloween. Yeah, I mean, it can happen, right? I think it happened here once. I think somebody was telling me that when I first moved here, that there was the first thing they said to me when they met me, you're going to love the weather in Tennessee Valley or Northern Alabama because it's so unpredictable, and it snows on Halloween one time. And I remember him saying that to me the first like week I worked there. We were at a promo shoot, and he came over to tell me that personally. Shook my hand and everything. It was great. But yeah, nothing worse though than like I don't know, like if I was like dressing up for Halloween and had a costume on, the last thing I want to do is sweat in it. So I guess like long sleeves and cooler temperatures is kind of cool, right? Literally. But hi, Perry White from Athens. Perry, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. This is your 10 day. I'll put it up again. You don't need to see me. I'm just goofing off at this point now. Sarah says, okay, sounds good. Can do. Good. And Kimberly, thanks for keeping us informed. You know what, Kimberly? You're going to put a big heart like that? I'm going to put a big heart right back at you. What do you think of that? That's good stuff. Appreciate you coming in and checking things out. There's your 10-day. This video will stay on Facebook on the 48 page for the rest of the day. If you missed the beginning of it, I know I try to keep it conversational so there can be a lot of endless babble. But there's explanations to what all those different percents mean. The 48 first alert days are for the heat and the humidity. The higher chance of rain comes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it's more widespread rainfall that could be part of a tropical system in the Gulf. I've talked about this at length. It doesn't matter if it gets named or not. It's going to be a big rainmaker. I don't think it takes on the development of becoming a major hurricane or anything like that. But certainly for people who may be vacationing at the beaches this weekend, this was probably not the weekend to go, as it looks like it could be pretty wet. Now, if you're going to beaches in like Alabama or maybe Panama City, what you're hoping is if it were to develop, it maybe swings a little bit more south and then comes up around the high pressure and affects Louisiana and maybe spares the beaches all the rainfall, but right now it looks pretty wet. All right. Adam, cucumbers and salt water are good. Let them sit in the fridge. They are good. I love cucumbers and I love putting salt on them. I'm not supposed to eat the salt, but yes, I do cheat. All right, I got to go do TVL at 11 o'clock, everybody. Stay cool. Anytime you have lots of heat and humidity, it's summertime in the Tennessee Valley. We know how to do this. Common sense stuff, drink water. If you're going to play pickleball with Eric Burke tomorrow, like I have planned at 1:30, don't go out there and try to be a hero and play for 3 hours. Pack it in after you feel uncomfortable. And just do smart things. Make sure you check on your pets. We don't want them outside. If you're walking your pets, those little paw pad things are awesome because that cement and concrete gets hot and we don't want burning paws, right? And if you have an elderly neighbor, I have a couple, I might go say hi to them today. Maybe they don't want me to say hi, but I'm still going to check on them, or I'll send them a text and let them know they're okay, And that's all you can do at this time. Just keep it smart. I feel always so bad for the people who have to work outside in the heat and humidity. You hope they're taking necessary precautions and able to drink some water and cool off any way they can. And I know it's difficult when you work outside, but it's summer in the Tennessee Valley for at least another month and a half. All right, everybody have a good day.